Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Fabrizio Romano shares what he knows about Thomas Partey, Arsenal, and Saudi bids. Thomas Partey remains a player of interest to other clubs this summer as Arsenal continue to battle to keep him. The Ghanaian midfielder remains a key part of the Arsenal midfield. However, that hasn't stopped interest coming his way, particularly from Saudi Arabia. Partey has made no noise to suggest he wants out at the moment, and writing in his latest Scout Offside newsletter, Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Saudi bids have come, although it still looks like Partey will remain in London. He said, "Many of you have also been asking me about the strong rumors involving Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey and Fenerbahce. What I can tell you is that 3 weeks ago, Arsenal rejected approaches for Partey from Saudi clubs for around 35 million euros. Arsenal said it was impossible to accept that kind of money. They wanted more than 45 million euros to let Partey leave the club. So I don't really see this as a realistic opportunity for any club at the moment. I don't see Fenerbahce paying that kind of money, and of course Mikel Arteta is very happy with Thomas Partey, so to change the situation more than 45 million euros will have to be the fee. Arsenal paid around 45 million pounds to sign Partey in the first place. The midfielder has been key under Mikel Arteta and would have a big gap to fill if he was sold. There is no point in Arsenal going out and splashing the cash on Declan Rice if they are then going to move on one of their other top midfield players. Partey is ideal in the Gunners midfield and he has a lot of qualities that others in the squad don't have. For Arsenal to lose Partey at this stage of the window would be absurd, really. And as Romano says, it will take a mammoth fee from Saudi to even get the Gunners board thinking. Unai Emery now wants outstanding Arsenal player. Edu will let him leave. Unai Emery is targeting Arsenal player Nuno Tavares if Aston Villa are unable to conclude a deal for left-back Marcos Acuna. That's according to journalist Fabrizio Romano, who shared the update on X. Romano shared that Villa are now exploring a deal but have not yet discussed personal terms, Romano said. After the deal collapse with Forest, Aston Villa are exploring conditions of a deal to sign Nuno Tavares from Arsenal. Personal terms not discussed yet, as up to the clubs now. Nuno, alternative option to Marcos Acuna deal with Sevilla for Villa. It's also being reported by IE News that Aston Villa would be seeking a loan deal for the fullback, whilst you would think Arsenal would prefer a permanent sale for Tavares this summer. The club are looking to recoup funds. A loan deal may suffice. Tavares has returned to the club following his loan at Ligue 1's Marseille and reportedly doesn't have a future with the side. Outstanding Tavares arrived at Arsenal under manager Mikel Arteta, but it's now his predecessor who wants him. It would certainly be an intriguing prospect for Arsenal fans to watch Tavares under Unai Emery's management. Both a loan and a permanent deal look appealing for Arsenal here. Aston Villa will, of course, be playing European football this season, and Tavares could have a real platform to showcase his development. The only concern from an Arsenal point of view in the event of loan would be the options that Aston Villa already have. Lucas Digne is currently starting at left back given Alex Moreno's hamstring injury, and once the latter returns, where will Tavares fit in? Of course, if the deal is a permanent one, that's not Arsenal's issue, but it will be if he is on loan. Arsenal are clearly looking to cash in on their man and should only sanction a loan if it will enhance his value. Otherwise, Arsenal are better off ignoring Emery's interest and should seek an alternative route for Tavares' exit. Arsenal have now directly told £50 million player to find a new club this summer. Arsenal have now directly told young forward Folarin Balogun to find a new club this summer. That's according to a report from the Express, which shares more details on Arsenal's potential departures in the coming weeks. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta will be fully focused on his side's trip to Crystal Palace tonight. They have already witnessed Manchester City maintain their 100% Premier League record with a 1-0 win over Newcastle. If they have title ambitions this year, they will know they have to match their results for as long as possible. Arteta appears to have received a boost this week with Zinchenko fit enough to feature today after losing Yurian Timber to a serious injury. Being able to bring in the Ukrainian today would be perfect timing. However, Arteta will know that he has to shift several first team players this summer before the transfer window closes. One of those players is Folarin Balogun, who has now been told to find a new club and leave Arsenal before deadline day. The report from the Express has listed the players who have been informed they can leave this summer. That includes the likes of Nicolas Pepe, Rob Holding, Cedric Soares, and Albert Sambi Lokonga. Alongside Balogun, the young forward has a huge potential, and as such, Arsenal have valued him at £50 million. There is plenty of interest too, with Monaco already having a bid rejected and Fulham eyeing the 22-year-old. Marco Silva's side have just sold Mitrovic for a club record fee to Saudi Arabian side Al Hilal. They need to bring in another forward to replace the Serbian international, and Balogun could be that man. After being told by Arsenal that he needs to go, Balogun will be considering his options. Staying in London might appeal to the USA international. However, Balogun showed last season that he is not afraid to leave his comfort zone to make the right move for his career. It will be interesting to see where he ends up, as he doesn't appear to be in Mikel Arteta's plans this season. Arsenal misfit has refused to transfer away, journalist claims. Arsenal winger Nicolas Pepe has reportedly rejected the chance to complete a transfer away from the club to Turkish giants Besiktas. The Ivory Coast international has fallen out of favour at the Emirates Stadium in recent times, having become one of the Gunners' most high-profile flops of the last few years. Pepe looked a hugely exciting signing when he first joined in the summer of 2019, but he is now a player they will surely want to get rid of as soon as possible. However, that's clearly proving difficult, with tons tweeting that Pepe has turned down the chance to join Besiktas. It's not entirely clear why Pepe has decided against this move, but Arsenal fans will surely just be hoping he has another offer he can choose instead. If this saga drags on for much longer, it will be interesting to see if Arsenal simply decide to terminate Pepe's contract, though of course one imagines they'd much rather receive a fee for him if possible. Arsenal told they will have to pay silly money to sign exceptional player this summer. Arsenal have been told by Manchester City that they will have to pay silly money to sign Joao Cancelo this summer. A report from the Daily Express has shared more details on the relationship between the two clubs in the transfer market. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta received a huge blow during their 2-1 win over Nottingham Forest last weekend. Despite the win and overall decent performance, he lost Yurian Timber to a serious injury just after halftime. There was plenty of excitement around Timber, who can play across the backline. Arsenal have spent quite a lot in the transfer window already, but may need to enter the market again after losing the Dutchman. There is an interest in signing Joao Cancelo from Manchester City, who isn't part of Pep Guardiola's plans. However, Arsenal have been told that they will need to spend a huge amount of money to sign Cancelo or any Man City player in the future. The treble-winning side aren't keen on selling to a direct rival anytime soon. The report talks about how another Arsenal target, Aymeric Laporte, is about to sign for Saudi Arabian club Al-Nassr. They go on to say that Arsenal will need silly money to sign another Man City player and have no interest in doing further business with them. Cancelo is expected to eventually join Barcelona this summer, although their financial situation means that nothing is certain until the transfer is confirmed. The exceptional defender would be a great addition to Arsenal and would suit their style of play. Man City will think that they have already strengthened one of their nearest rivals enough over the past few years. It's no surprise that Arsenal would have to spend silly money to sign Cancelo in the final weeks of the window. It's unlikely Arteta has that sort of cash at his disposal after their previous spending this summer, and Cancelo is very close to join Barcelona on loan. £57 million Arsenal target has just agreed to join another club. He will sign a 3-year contract. Reported Arsenal target Emerick Laporte has agreed to join Saudi Pro League outfit Al-Nassr this summer. That's according to Foot Mercato journalist Santi Auna, who claims that Laporte has officially said yes to leaving Manchester City for the Middle East. Arsenal could be in the market for another defender this summer after Julian Timber was hit with a significant injury on his debut last week, and Mikel Arteta is reportedly a huge fan of Laporte, who is currently out of favour at Manchester City after the club signed Josko Gvardiol. Indeed, Fabrizio Romano claimed this week that Laporte is hugely appreciated at Arsenal, but it seems the Frenchman is ready to make a switch to Saudi Arabia after falling down the pecking order under Pepe Guardiola. Auna took to social media platform X and shared an exclusive update on Laporte's future. The 29-year-old has agreed to join Al-Nassr and will pen a 3-year contract with the Saudi outfit. Laporte could have been an intriguing option for Arteta to provide cover for both Gabriel Magalhaes and Zinchenko, but the Gunners are probably after a more versatile option after Tamber's injury, as the Dutchman could fill multiple roles across the backline. It's a surprise to see Laporte is willing to make the move to Saudi, considering he has received plenty of interest from Premier League sides. The £57 million defender is still in his prime years and would be an excellent addition to any top side in England. Arsenal would have to pay big money to land rumored transfer target, says Fabrizio Romano. Arsenal have been linked with a surprise transfer move for Barcelona defender Jules Kounde to come in as cover for Julian Timber, but it seems Fabrizio Romano isn't entirely convinced by the transfer rumors. Kounde would cost a lot of money, and it seems there isn't anything concrete happening at the moment anyway, with the France international and his club both happy with each other, according Romano in his exclusive Out of Sight column. Arsenal certainly need someone to come in and cover for Timber, who looks to have picked up a serious and long-term injury in what is a huge blow for the Gunners after only signing the talented and versatile youngster from Ajax earlier this summer. Kounde is a similar profile of player, as he can play both centre back and right back to a high standard, but one imagines Barca will surely do all they can to keep hold of him. Discussing this Arsenal story, Romano said, I am aware there have been some reports of Arsenal looking at Jules Kounde as someone to replace Julian Timber. My understanding, however, is that both Xavi and Kounde have always been very clear they want to keep going together at Barca, so at the moment the situation is quiet. In any case, Kounde would cost a lot of money, not a cheap deal at all. I am not aware of concrete contacts at this stage. £50 million striker Spurs reportedly want to replace Kane has just said he loves Arsenal. Even Toney may not endear himself to Tottenham Hotspur supporters, as their club reportedly considers a move for the striker, with the Brentford star claiming that he loves how passionate Arsenal fans are. Toney was speaking on the Diary of a CEO podcast as he continues to serve a suspension for breaching betting guidelines. Had Ivan Toney not been banned this summer, you would imagine that Brentford would face a much tougher time trying to keep him at the club. Reports from Give Me Sport have claimed that Tottenham are considering a move for the £50 million rated Toney as they continue to face up to life after Hurricane. Richarlison has endured a difficult start to the campaign, not scoring in Postecoglou's first 2 games in charge. Obviously, Toney would not be available for selection until January if he joined, but it would still be an exciting signing for Spurs if they got a deal across the line. However, it seems that it's another team in North London who have impressed him. Toney was asked about being a Liverpool fan growing up, but he went on to praise Mikel Arteta's side. He said, "Yeah, Liverpool fan. I have been a Liverpool fan my whole life, but from young I have liked Arsenal. I like watching Arsenal and how they play and kind of how passionate the fans are. But yeah, Liverpool fan, Liverpool boy at heart." Of course, it's not the end of the world if players admire a rival. James Maddison had to deny that he is an Arsenal fan after previously expressing a dislike for Tottenham some time ago. Clearly, Maddison is well on his way to becoming a Spurs hero, it seems, so Tony's comment on Arsenal will mean nothing if he moves to Tottenham and starts scoring regularly. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.